What's up, you guys? It's PhiDX. So today we're trying out something a little newer as well. A viewer sent me a video, but it was a first to 10, and I already spend about 30 minutes trying to cover a first to 2, or like 3 matches, right? So what is the most interesting part of a first to 10? By the way, if you don't care about any of this, jump to the timestamp. You can go to the analysis. What is the most interesting part of a first to 10? It's the fact that the long set allows for many adjustments. It lets you download your opponent's intent, their habits, their fears and anxieties, their childhood traumas, and you get to abuse all of that as the set goes on. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to try and highlight matches where the adjustments really happened and where they were hopefully very visible. But before we do that, I want to talk a bit about Noctis versus Deviljin. I've played the matchup a lot. Obviously, I play a lot of Noctis, and I feel like I understand this one. So when I understand a matchup, I want to talk more about it instead of, making shit up. So, Noctis. First one on the list. We've seen this guy a few times. Better pokes than Deviljin. Down forward 1, a bit more range, -1 on block. 2-2, insane range, safe. Down back 1, 1+2. The 2-2 and the down back 1, 1+2 track opposite ways. So your opponent can never guarantee a sidestep to beat both options. They have to pick one. The other really strong trait is back 2 and down forward 1, evade Deviljin's jab. So after a down forward 1, when he's -1, he could do back 2 or down forward 1 again to dodge a jab retaliation. So this creates a situation where Noctis's down forward 1 is pseudo plus on block, right? If the Deviljin doesn't want to get hit by a follow-up mid, he has to kind of respect that. Obviously, he can down forward 1 to challenge it, but then you're open to down forward 1 jab, down forward 1 sidestep, down forward 1 and the extensions, right? So very, very strong trait of the matchup. Noctis's back 2 and down forward 1 don't always evade, but when they do, it's a huge advantage. Noctis has good option selects for Deviljin up 4 and his cancel strings. So when Deviljin does the big flip in the air, Noctis can just hit down forward 2 and it beats every option. Deviljin has 2 key cancels that I can think of. It's back 1-2, his punish, where he does this and then spins around and he doesn't have to do the second hit. The other one is where he spins and does the homing wall bounce. In both of those options, Noctis can just do his punch parry, the big shield, and it's safe. So he'll either absorb the second hit or nothing will happen. Good choice. Noctis has insanely good movement. So aside from sidestep right duck, beating almost every Deviljin option if you know the timing, his backdash makes it hard for Deviljin to chase him. Obviously the wave dash helps, but Noctis is moving really well. And then sidestep right blocks on Noctis are really, really good. So if you just put in a micro sidestep right block, sometimes the opponent will just miss. Finally, up forward 1 and his jab hard counter wave dash pressure, right? So the jab might miss the wave dash itself, but if Deviljin commits to an attack, he loses the evasive property of the crouch dash. So the jab and the up forward 1 will hit him. But Deviljin is not exactly helpless. Knee has famously called him a trash character. I have a match coming up with me versus Knee, by the way, in this matchup. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about what Deviljin can do. So strong pokes compared to someone like Kazuya in down forward 1, down 3, down back 2, laser scraper, generics like down 4 and down jab, and instant while standing 4. These all generate nice frame advantage aside from down 3. And have decent coverage. Now, again, we talked about the jab being evaded by this. However, in a neutral situation where Deviljin is kind of in control, these moves are very effective. And when he's contesting control, Scraper is good against movement. Generics are good to get high-speed moves that Noctis doesn't have. Down 3, a nice quick poke that you can't see or react to. Down back 2, going under the highs like up forward 1 and jab. He's effective. He has a lot of really good stuff. Just like Kazuya, the electric is what I call a Steve back 1 that counter hits movement. Okay, that's a great way to use electric. Deviljin is like a poking character who happens to have an electric. Great way to play him. Flash punch is good control, but like I said, loses to the back 2 and the down forward 1 at certain situations, and sidestep up forward 1. So again, really, really good move. However, Noctis has some counterplay. Now here's the main matchup quirk. Noctis has many -9 moves. Shadow Scissors, forward for 1+2. Sorry for hitting the mic. 2-2. And the crouch dash mix becomes a huge opportunity here. Back 2, also -9. So when he threatens a wave dash here, Noctis has to be afraid of being launched either way. And when he chooses to respect the wave dash or disrespect the wave dash with a button, steel pedal. Really, really good. The back 4. Counter hit launcher. And he can choose his pokes as in-frame options as well, because at -9, Noctis no longer gets this evasiveness that we were talking about. the built-in evasiveness. Finally, Deviljin can just block and compete in the poke game. When I say compete, I mean in neutral. If you're competing on block, you're open to these situations. He can place electric really well and rob Noctis back, and back 4 also is a good counter hit launcher. Very prone to whiffing, so that's really important to see. However, you'll see based on playstyle here that may or may not be a big factor. It really depends on how the Noctis is playing. The best way I could describe it is fighting against Noctis, you'll feel like you're playing Brian, where you will be losing most of the time. And then you will rob them and win, because Noctis has a lot of ways to poke you and hit you. But if you play it conservatively, he doesn't have a lot of ways to nuke you. Up forward 1, counter hit. Down forward 2, whiff punish, right? So he doesn't have like Steve's... well, he has a similar analog to Steve's mix-up at the wall, like QCF1 and the Dirty Boxing. However, Demoman... and the ranges these two moves represent create different windows of defense. So it's not exactly the same. Noctis is still very good. I'm not downplaying him. However, Deviljin has many choices. I've talked about that enough. Let's get into the matches. The first one we're going to watch is the very, very first match, okay? So, game 1. Now, this will be a pretty fresh match for me. I've skimmed it a little bit, but I want to look at how Qudans chooses to counter Noctis. So there we see a steel pedal out of a couple wave dashes, okay? So he does wave dash, kind of threaten to mix up, and then after the second one, the Noctis player is kind of like, all right, what are you doing? Let me just hit you. And then the steel pedal hits. Very, very effective default choice from Qudans, kind of scouting. Is he even looking for the hell sweep? There, he's hard ducking. Noctis is hard ducking, right? So trying to get a sense of, is he looking for the hell sweep? Is he looking for the mix-up? Qudans goes mid, and Dokgo stands back up. And this is another default Qudans is relying on. On a lot of these block situations, he's playing Flash Punch. You saw the down 3 there. That's because in the early -9 situations. And here, he's going to play a lot of jab. He plays Laser Scraper here off of the up forward 1. And this is a solid choice because Noctis is -4. So he can still move around. He's also at a spacing where he can create a whiff. So Scraper is a good choice because it advances, it tracks, and it has extensions to cover the whiff. Plays a Demon Paw. And you'll notice that currently, Qudans isn't deterred by Noctis's poking range, right? That's the first two, or maybe the second, one of the first two twos that Dokgo decided to play, and if it's not hitting you, it's okay. After the -9 on the 2-2, he starts playing Flash Punch again. But Dokgo is a bit aggressive here, and this is kind of cool to see, right? If your opponent's respecting your hitboxes, you have a lot of free reign. Playing full crouch, running up, good block on the hell sweep. This is the situation I was talking about. Dokgo hits a back 2, -9. He loses his turn. Qudans chooses to play a dash hell sweep. So Dokgo gets the round, but this is good information. If after a -9 move, Dokgo is looking for a mix-up, Qudans can decide to play pokes, he can decide to do nothing, or he can win the mix-up 50-50. And Qudans is not taking a lot of immediate timing choices here. If you look at it here, after this block, he does a wave dash, back 4. After the down back 1, by the way, immediate timing meaning as soon as a block happens, do you take immediate action? There's multiple definitions, that's one of the cases. Forward 4, 1+2, he does a mini wave dash, and then a down forward 2, right? Because the Noctis is likely to block at -9. There's a whiff, a little mini punish. Forward 4, 1+2, another decision point. He plays an immediate timing low poke, right? Because each time before, the Noctis just sat still. Another decision point right here. Laser Scraper, immediate timing, mixing up the low. Nice jab, clipping out of his movement. Oh, and then he steps a little too zealously and gets wall splatted, but not a strong combo. And this is, again, another decision point. Look at this here. After the combo drop, back 2, -9. He plays a hell sweep. This is built on the information before, where each time on those blocks, he did nothing. Now, he's been doing so much immediate timing, and Noctis has the big counter hit. Maybe it's time to chill. On this wake-up situation, 2 wave dashes, and then Laser Scraper. Right? A few jabs. Laser Scraper. Immediate timing again. Nice punish on the low. Deviljin having a good punish on down back 3 is really important. Wave dash, wave dash, wave dash. Laser Scraper. I don't know why he did that. That was crazy. I guess it would beat a bad jab. It would beat a down 3. It would just... If he was wrong, he loses. You know, because Noctis gets a full combo into Rage Art into kill. Game 1 already having a lot of spice. Forward 2. Alright, sidestep 4. or sidestep 2 from Noctis. This is a 0 on hit on block situation. 0 on block. And Devil Jin is forced into crouch. However, because he's on player 2 side, he can step to the right. This is a really good advantage for someone fighting against Noctis. The reason is Noctis's pokes don't track sidestep right very well. The exception is 2-2 and down back 3 and down 2. So if you get hit by if you block a sidestep 2, you can auto do your sidestep, right? Because you can only sidestep to the background out of crouch, because tapping down while you're already crouching just keeps you crouching. So Qudans gets a step on the jab, but not a lot you can do if you step a jab unless you really read it really well. Here's another situation where Qudans runs up, and Dokko isn't really respecting this movement forward, right? He's already in crouch here, about to do his mix-up. And Qudans is just standing still. So Dokko just proceeds as intended. Qudans trying to hit a counter hit down forward 2 here, but is too slow. Running 1+2 for frame advantage. And now Dokko pressuring at the wall. Sidestep 2. Demo man attempt, but didn't rip it. Nice duck under the flash punch by Dokko. Forward 4 1+2. This is a good forward 4 1+2 because of 2 reasons. One, it could wall splat, although it's not really consistent at this angle. The other reason is because Qudans is going to try to get out of the wall here. You can see it clipped his sidestep. So Qudans getting clipped a lot in this wall situation, and that will play into his adaptations later. Now look at that. Look at this gameplay. This is really good. So he knows that Dokko on defense tends to just block or look for a hell sweep. But Qudans hasn't run into an up forward 1 yet. So he just wave dashes in his face until Dokko stops ducking. And then he catches him with the hell sweep. Very, very nice. A lot of expertise from Amishima to feel comfortable wave dashing somebody's face. Now it's important to note that this is a very specific, that was a very precise punish. This is a very specific gameplay choice against high-level players. No mid, low, or even American high-level player will let you do this much movement in your face. By high level, I mean not like the top. The very top players will block. But not many people are going to block this long. They're going to just mash at you. So if you're learning as a Devil Jin player, you don't have to imitate this, okay? The reason is they're never going to block this long. Just hit them. Throw your electric. Throw your mid. Whiff punish them. That's a big one. Whiff punish them. Right? This is a very, very high level decision. And then again, Dokko with a very precise punish. Up forward 1 does not hit, and notice Qudans already starting to implement this sidestep right. Could just be a part of his natural movement, but also it's a very nice default against Noctis's pokes. Half health already. Wave dashing the mix to mix up his timing, and Dokko still finds the duck. This is good information. You know why? Because 2 demon paws hit, right? The mids. So we kind of duck goosed him, like mid low, on this delayed timing, and the wall splat is very threatening. But Dokko's still choosing to read the hell sweep. The hell sweep is not that scary at the wall. It doesn't do that much damage. So this is really, really important info for both Qudans and Dokko. Dokko kind of taking it like, I'm going to make the read regardless of kind of the numbers here. Which is something Tekken is about. You can't always play the strict numbers. Sometimes you have to make the read. It's a fighting game, you know? Look at this forward movement, sidestep right. All of those could die to electric. But you'll notice that Qudans hasn't thrown an electric until that part. So Dokko isn't really afraid. And by doing this, he has gotten around into the wall. And then he hard ducks here when the electric comes. Nice anti-Mishima gameplay. However, he's late on the whiff punish. Eats a 1-1-2. Sidestep 2, back in the game. Qudans has always been stepping, right? So after the sidestep 2, he does a forward 1+2. But you can notice Qudans did a slight sidestep right block. And that's the problem with doing forward 1+2 as tracking on a block or hit situation, is a strong player can sidestep, notice Noctis moving forward with his head down, and then input a block really quickly. Walks the rage drive, misses the punish. You have to know your punish specifically. It's really hard to kind of freestyle your punish on that. And now, look at this situation. At this spacing, Noctis is still a threat. So Qudans wave dashes in and goes for a simple while standing 4. Most characters do not have an answer to this, maybe an electric, but Noctis has the full, like, range 4, homing, mid, counter hit launching, safe sword dagger move, right? Like, incredibly strong. All right, so that's the first game, okay? We're going to jump over immediately to the next point where it seems like Qudans adapts. So here at 8:22, You'll see the score is 2-1. Qudans getting a game, but Dokko in the lead. And this is a good indication of the start right away. Down forward 4-2. Qudans ducking the second hit. Doesn't get a launch, but you know, that's okay. The recovery is really fast. All right, and then right after that, he plays this Okazemi with a bit of a delayed hell sweep. He lets Dokko wake up ducking. Then he stands up because he thinks the pressure's over, and then Qudans goes for the low. Now Qudans really pressing the offense. Dokko stepping right instead of playing defensive, like, hard reads, right? Or mashing. He's just like, get me out of the wall. So Qudans gets a bit of reward with the laser scraper there, but his back is to the wall. This is really ugly. Another decision point off of this forward 1+2. Let's see how Qudans plays it. Wave dash, back 4. Trying to find that counter hit again, but not taking an immediate mix-up. Which is a little surprising. What an electric. A little surprising because if Noctis, you know, launches your hell sweep here, he does not get a lot, right? He gets very little damage. He has to do a crouch cancel forward 4-2 to get a lot of damage. And not many players are doing that. But again, playing wave dashes on the -9 instead of doing an immediate mix-up. Snipes the running 1+2 with an electric. Demon Paw down 1. I believe that's Devil Jin's tracking option for sidestep right duck. I could be wrong, but it looks like that's what Dokko did, right? Maybe he just didn't have enough frames, but after the running 3 hits his block, he tries to do a sidestep right duck. Maybe just a sidestep right. Right here. Look at Dokko. Sidestep right. There we go. Come on, YouTube. It doesn't even look like he put in the duck. It just tracked his sidestep right. He didn't have the frames. Nice from Qudans to track the DLC movement. Scraper could have worked too, but I guess the down 1 catches the duck for strong damage. And you'll notice Qudan is doing a lot of stand blocking, right? What low does Noctis have to really threaten you outside of down back 3, down 2? The spear is reactable, right? So interesting duck there. He was looking for 1-2-2. Probably not a lot of Noctis experience because you can walk that to the left. Obviously not a reaction. You can also jab him out of it, right? But hard ducking is only if you think they messed up the 1-2-2 punish, which could have been what he was going for. All these forward 1+2s giving up Noctis' turn, and Qudans has a way to fight out of the wall here. Sidestep right. This is what I'm talking about. This makes it really hard for Noctis to just do whatever he wants if you implement this movement, right? While standing 1-2 from Noctis is only +2. So he hit him here, but he's in crouch, so he can still step left and beat the up forward 1. Gets a small punish that could have been an electric. The more familiar you are, the scarier it is for Noctis. Down 3, Noctis does not get a good punish on that. And not ducking wow, good try, good try. Not ducking makes it hard for these moves like down back 1+2 to hit. There, that move. Hard to hit that move if the opponent just isn't like ducking for free. Parry whiffs, but no whiff punish. Up hard hop kick. What in the world? Yikes. Okay, so look at this. Demon Paw, you know, usually reset to neutral, kind of start playing the game again. Qudans, seeing the time and probably the fact that Dokko just wants to kill him, just throws an electric right away. I don't know what Dokko is doing here, but looks like he dashed into, maybe just tried to play a jab. A very innocent, benign jab. But electric, again, counter hitting forward movement, and forward movement jab is even scarier, right? Steve back 1 works there too. No way, man. I don't think that was a whiff punish, but... No, that was a whiff punish. Incredible. Backdash electric. And Dokko has been opening the rounds with that, right? So adaptation from Qudans to see that the opening is so consistent. Wow, sidestep right really coming into play. Say, oh my goodness. Yep, see, he needs to get a stronger punish, but he's catching more of Dokko's habits. This happened last time too. Sidestep right, 1-1-2, and then he plays laser scraper right away off the frame advantage, and he beats Dokko trying to sidestep. And look at how much damage that gives him. One more replay here. From half health, 1-2-2 puts him down to like 40%. And then the scraper puts him down to like 2 hits, right? So small reads, but the movement, the like, I don't want to say reckless movement, but like getting red on your movement can cost a lot of HP here, even if it doesn't look like a lot. It's not a combo, it's not a knockdown. That shit adds up. Now Dokko is swinging. But what is Qudans afraid of? What low is he afraid of? Right? He has to run up to do Demo Man at all of these ranges. Here, Demo Man would work, but he's only +2. So he has to jab to try and like keep his turn. Demo Man doesn't hit here. Sidestep 2. Puts him in Demo Man range, but Qudans is backdashing. Sidestep 2. Demo Man range. Qudans is backdashing. So none of these, this offense is all empty. It's hollow. There's a down back 3, but how many of those can you attempt to throw out before it's over? And here again, we see the sidestep right. After the down 4. So Qudans has understood these adaptations very well. Sidestep right to beat the pokes against the like mauling Noctis offense. When you have that much of a health lead, the lows won't kill you. If he does roll, by the way, if Noctis rolls at you, you can generic down 4 to interrupt every option, or you can sidestep right. But even if you eat the slide, what happens? If say Dokko were to roll here, if he roll slides here, his back is to the wall. He has to try to fight out of the wall now, and he didn't get any HP for it. It's not worth it. So off of these adaptations, I can only presume it looked very similar. The reason I say that is because if we jump ahead 16 minutes to 26-11, Qudans has made the score 7-2, right? He was down 2-1, now it's 7-2. So what does Dokko do to fight back, right? He just lost, what, 6 games straight? So he stopped doing the down forward 4 opener. He's playing jab, sidewalk left on the electric, and look, he's playing more down 3. Jab and down 3. Jab to stop the wave dash offense, down 3, so that Qudans can't just block the whole time. The back 2 not working as well. That is tough. Look at this. Back 2, safe mid, right? They have a bit of hesitation. He backdashes, and then something, maybe he jabs, but Qudans hits him with the counter hit down forward 2. It's a proactive move. He's like, I'm going to dash in and then down forward 2. Oh my goodness, he is demolishing him. Look at this. Scraper 1. Noctis hesitates. He sees nothing is happening. Maybe I can jab again. Electric. Absolutely horrifying thing to fight against. He's like got no HP, and now it's the same situation. How do you come back as Noctis against this, especially if you blow your rage drive out in the open? Big block on the low. This is confidence. Remember how I was saying you don't have to duck? He ducks the slow low, and it looks almost like a reaction. Like if you see how late he ducks, the sword is right at his leg. It's through his leg, but he ducks at the last frame. That very well could have been a reaction. And he goes for the instant punish, which means he didn't expect Dokko to try to go for the high extension that would have counter hit launched him either. So Qudans is in like total confident control here. Look at the confident movement in here. Noctis has a bunch of hitboxes and counter hits. He's running in jabbing, running in doing nothing. Bunch of wave dashes. Nice punish on the while standing 2. We didn't get to see a lot of the hell sweep mix-ups because we skipped so far ahead, but looks like, wow, Dokko may have been continuing to duck. The sense I get from watching Dokko, and this is not a disrespectful comment, is that there's a lot of layer 1 gameplay. We're seeing the same thing probably consistently, and that's kind of just the nature of Tekken 7. But for Qudans, a legacy player, it's tempting to interact and try to make these reads. But you'll notice that Dokko, from the start, was ducking and looking for hell sweep. So Qudans may not even need to try while standing 2. He may just need to keep looking for the counter hits and the electrics. These wave dashes into while standing 4 are a nice choice. Right? Not a lot of risk. Very, very fast. What a jab. That was horrifying. Dokko went for a string setup. Down back 1, whiff into up forward 1, and Qudans jabbed him. Dokko tries to duck the electric, gets punished. Shadow Scissors. From this range, this makes sense because last time Qudans has been doing instant while standing 4, right? And he's even wave dashing here, but Qudans sees him. Noctis, full force, head down, time to block. Back 2, really playing these hesitation timings. He's not... Dokko, every -9 is not hitting multiple buttons. He's back 2ing and then blocking. So Qudans has nothing to fear. As soon as the back 2 hits his block, all pressure is gone. And this is a really important thing about playing too many buttons. This is something you can take away as a newer player. Just because your move is safe doesn't mean you just do it all the time. You should use it, right? But if you do it every single interaction as much as possible, you're just telling your opponent when the pressure is not there, which is after the move hits. If you want to continue applying pressure after that, you have to play out of frame, which is good on a read, but bad as a default. A lot of risk. Qudans in total comfort here. The down back 3s, again, you got to play these poke lows while, you have some health to play with. When you have to come back, they become obvious. So much confidence. Look at all these forward movements. But you'll notice it's not forward movement continuously. It's wave dash block, dash block, sidestep right block, right? This makes it a lot safer. And this is something you can cautiously take away, but your opponent has to be really scared. And you'll probably only see that in like tournament against mid-upper level, where people are starting to try to develop defense, but still have fear and things like that. Oh, here we go. Dokko needed to do this, for sure. Against the wave dash, just play your up forward 1. Make him duck and launch it, right? Giving up your main counter hit tool is tough. He could have killed off the combo, but there we go. He still finds the kill. Sidestep right duck. Again, nice default against Devil Jin, high coverage, but Qudans has been fighting as Devil Jin plenty to not just run into that. Scraper coming out. Right as I say that, like, playing Scraper makes sense. Scraper is a good answer to sidestep right duck. And as soon as he noticed that Dokko tried to sidestep right duck, he plays it right away. Next situation. Sidestep 2. Probably gets clipped. Down back 1, 1+2 clipping. Nice. Back 2. Okay, these mids are all hitting, right? Dokko has been playing the down 3 and the down 2, and Qudans has been willing to try to duck them. So now the mids are active. It's not about doing damage with your lows. Your character doesn't need a power low. But if you have harassment lows, they can unlock your mids. And that's a crucial factor in playing characters like Brian, and also characters like Noctis and Steve. Right? Look at how much damage the mids did because of the annoyance of the low. It's not even the damage of the threat of the low. Good sidewalk right on the back 2. Parry to disrespect. This is cool. This is what you see in first to 10s. You get people doing a lot more confident stuff. How many times has Qudans done 1-2-2 into laser scraper, right? 1-2-2 laser scraper. Dokko still paying attention. Get parried. Forward dashes into the wall. Don't let Qudans out. Wow, okay, so I was about to disagree with this down back 1, 1+2. The reason is, if Qudans is trying to get out of the wall, the only way he can step here is to Qudans' right, to the background. And 2-2 would track that way, down back 1 does not, right? So you could have better coverage here. However, this does give better frames on block. He's reading low anyways. Sidestep left, back 2. Did you catch that? Sidestep left beating the first jab. Back to beating the second one. Noctis. OP. The Dokko comes back by using the lows and refreshing his offense, right? Adding some low poke threats that Qudans starts to think about, and because he's an OG Tekken player, he's probably not willing to take all the lows. He wants to try to make plays off the lows. That opens him up to the mids. Tekken 7 is they call it a non-interactive game at the high level because it's often better to just not interact. Take the lows, find a low parry, it'll be worth it in the end. You don't need to make reads on every low. So with that adaptation, Dokko comes back a little bit. The score before the final game is 4-9. So, spoiler, Qudans wins. But let's see what the final adaptation is. Now that we know Dokko has started implementing a bit more offense and a bit more variation in his pokes and reads on Qudans' defensive habits. Still a lot of sidestep 2 down 2, but look at this here. Clearly not a lot of representation of the down 2-2 extension because Qudans confidently rips the launch punish. Carry to the wall. Uh-oh. Hell sweep. Half HP. Laser scraper to trap him at the wall. Jabs. Wave dashes. Dokko is frozen. Hard ducking for the hell sweep, but how is he going to make the health lead back? And then he's standing. Nice block in the down 4, but Noctis does not get a lot. And after a tech roll on wake up, you can't low parry here, right? So he has to get a low block. Not a lot of compensation. This rage drive usage really hurts. Unless you wall splat them with the rage drive, where you get +8 on block, or wall, like, stun them, this is only +2. So even your pokes won't track, let alone up forward 1. Sidestep jab, easy kill. Looking ugly for the boy. Probably punishment for that customization. I don't know what is going on there. Butterfly wings and a floaty. Okay, he's playing full crouch lows. This is another good option Noctis has. The full crouch. When your opponent is frozen due to the threat of your counter hits or the threat of your whiff punish and your movement, you can play full crouch a bit easier. Down 2-2, ripping the extension. Lots of down 2. He's understanding that to get mileage on his mids, Qudans has to duck. So he's playing a lot of lows. Full crouch again. Hard mix-ups. Hard mix-ups on timings where he feels safe. And if he's full crouching, Qudans can't electric. He has to hit an up forward 4? Like the mid or steel pedal. Steel pedal is probably the strongest threat if your opponent's full crouching, but you have to go for a read. Hell sweep after the down forward 1 on hit. Wall combo. Wave dashing. Qudans losing wall position again, but doesn't really care because he knows there are windows where he can wave dash forward. Every -9 he gets a lot of time. Hell sweep is blocked though. Tough combo situation, but the demo man hits. Nice. Dokko 1-1. The lows are important. Even if the lows themselves aren't doing damage, they change the way your opponent plays. Jabbing him out of the Demon Steel Pedal. Very nice. Oh, that was a good adaptation from Qudans. It didn't hit, but look at this. All right, here. Wave dash, steel pedal. Gets jabbed. Okay, so that's 1, 2 attack. Now look at this. Forward for 1 plus 2. 1 attack. You see that? Steel pedal was 1, 1, 1, 2 attack. And then the down forward 2 attempt was 1 attack. Timing changed to try to catch that jab once again. And then here, it's a bit confusing what he's going to do, right? Ducko playing all these mids, but he's -9. He's losing his turn. Sidestep right, hell sweep. Sidestep right beating a out of frame. This was really, really smart, guys. And Qudans might just be autopiloting this from his Tekken experience. But look at how smart this is, okay? This is -9, right? It's the next situation. So what does Noctis do? He either does nothing, which opens him up to wave dash, or he immediately swings at -9, okay? If he swings, and it's not 2-2, sidestep right beats almost every option. It has to be 2-2, down 2, or down 3. So Qudans sidesteps right. If Noctis chose to block, he's now in a mix-up. Technically, this is a neutral situation because Qudans sacrificed his frames sidestepping right. So they're both neutral. However, he knows the tendency of Ducko is to just block after the -9. It's a solid style, but solid can get predictable. So he mixes them up. That was sick. The sidestep right there instead of a forward dash, both repositioning the wall and dodging an immediate timing response. Nice, he blocks at clearly adapted to the 1-2, 1 plus 2. This flash duck beating up forward 1 is very telling. That means if I fight Qudans soon, he might beat the shit out of me because I up forward 1 on those timings a lot. 4-4, 1 plus 2. Hell sweep. Wow, sidestep right again, beating the panic hop kick. Not a lot of choices here. By not a lot of choices here, I mean Noctis doesn't have a lot of choices to track that right, and choosing the move to beat the hell sweep cost you even more HP. And you'll notice it was a side walk instead of a side step. Qudans is very confident the retaliation is going to lose to sidestep right. Down back 1. You have to 2-2 or down 2, and here this is just not it. Down 3. Qudans in total control, able to move around the retaliation timings and able to attack freely. A nightmare. The only way Ducko can come back from this is playing different rhythms off of backdashing, different keep out rhythms, and here he's kind of doing it, right? Like he's just playing, all right, I got a full crouch, right? Down, put me in crouch, let's go. 4-4, 1 plus 2. Mid, lots of full crouch. But then he runs face first into the while standing 2, right? His attempt to change his timing had this aggressive, desperate feel to it, like a cornered animal. Again, not a disrespectful term, just like the spirit of it, right? So Qudans can easily just be like, all right, while standing 2, whatever, bro, you know? Predictable. Jab carry to the wall. Electric is ducked. Very, very nice, but not a strong enough punish. This is a crazy move choice. I can't believe this worked. I would never have thought of this. Pushback. So he does forward 2 to catch this, and the fact it has a string extension means if Ducko played backdash with punish, it wouldn't have worked. By the way, that's something I haven't seen the whole set. I did skip the matches given, but he's not playing backdash. He's playing a very aggressive Noctis, and when you don't have the frames or the lows, it doesn't really make sense to me. Noctis' strength to me is the counter hit and the whiff punish. So although this aggressive style has benefits and Noctis can manage it, it's just not the full picture of Noctis gameplay. Frame advantage, but what low? Charges the down back 1 plus 2 out of impatience and gets blown up for it. Ducko plays a sidestep right duck here to try to beat the laser scraper extension, but Qudans doesn't even do it. Dives to the demon paw. Now, one other thing I wanted to note is Ducko tries to abuse Noctis down forward 1 here. Right? And Qudans demonstrates great patience. Just block. Oh, sorry. It was a bit earlier. He plays a bunch of down forward 1s, and it's because of that evasive tactic, right? That evasive property that if Qudans tries to jab in retaliation, nothing happens. I may have been mistaken. This may have been... I saw an earlier round in the set where he just does down forward 1, down forward 1, down forward 1, down forward 1, and it's because of that jab evasion. He didn't play it here, but obviously Qudans showing that he will block the whole time means all those down forward 1s don't really amount to much. And especially now that Qudans understands that sidestep right beats that, he could at any point sidestep right electric. So my expectation is that's why Ducko stopped. hopefully you enjoyed that set. Let me know if this is the kind of style you would like for first to 10s. It's hard to do this and try and keep it short, right? 30 minutes is kind of long, but I hope you enjoyed the ride, and leave a like if this was enjoyable. Leave a comment if I missed something or you want to see other sets. I take recommendations all the time, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.